Look closely at the diplomatic traffic moving through Doha, Qatar right now. Behind closed doors, an alliance is forming that is designed to severely disrupt the global economy. A highly organized coalition of Middle Eastern powers, including Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, Qatar, and Egypt, is finalizing a strict resolution to lock Iran out of the global financial system completely. Their objective is total economic suffocation. The proposed draft is engineered to crash the Iranian national currency by deliberately severing its two remaining lifelines, international banking networks and the global oil trade. A blockade of this magnitude requires airtight global compliance. The Arab coalition knows they cannot enforce it with the explicit participation of one specific player, India, and its External Affairs Minister, S. Jaishankar. This places New Delhi in a precarious position. Endorsing the resolution actively accelerates the collapse of the Iranian economy, while refusing it invites severe diplomatic and economic retaliation from the wealthiest nations in the Gulf. For decades, India has carefully avoided taking sides in international conflicts. Now, the entire balance of power in the Middle East rests directly on its response, testing the absolute limits of its historical policy of non-alignment. To understand why India cannot simply walk away from Tehran, we have to look at the immense strategic value of their historical partnership. For years, India has poured massive financial investments into the development of Iran's Chabahar port. This map shows exactly why that investment matters. This highlighted route emerges from the Indian coast, crosses the sea to Chabahar, and opens a direct corridor into Afghanistan and Central Asian markets, completely bypassing rival territory in Pakistan. Iran relies on a very specific geopolitical structure to survive international pressure. Beijing absorbs its oil exports, Moscow supplies its military technology, and New Delhi provides essential diplomatic legitimacy. Indian policymakers know what happens if they cave to Arab demands. It breaks this triad, obliterates mutual trust, and completely erases India's strategic foothold in the region. Acceding to this coalition draft requires the voluntary destruction of a geopolitical asset that India has spent countless resources to build. Yet, turning down the Arab coalition carries equally severe consequences. This chart visualizes the sheer scale of India's current dependency on the Gulf. Bilateral trade sits at roughly $85 billion with the UAE alone, and hovers around $50 billion annually with Saudi Arabia. Beyond the corporate trade figures, there is a massive human element. Over 8 million Indian expatriates currently live and work across the Gulf states. Every year, these workers send back billions of dollars in remittances. That steady influx of cash acts as a crucial engine driving India's internal economic growth. Navigating this kind of squeeze is something New Delhi has done before. In both 2012 and 2018, Western powers forced India to significantly reduce its imports of Iranian crude oil. Unlike those previous challenges, the current pressure originates directly from India's closest regional economic partners. India is caught between protecting its greatest long-term strategic investment in Iran and securing the immediate economic lifelines running through the Arabian Peninsula. Rather than submitting to the pressure, India chose a third path. They executed a calculated display of strategic autonomy, refusing to bow to the Arab coalition, while also declining to fully align with Iran. At the negotiating table, New Delhi outright rejected the harsh resolution. At the same time, they withheld support for any U.S. or Israeli military actions in the region, firmly insisting that the crisis be handled through dialogue rather than forced isolation. To see the actual payoff of this diplomatic maneuvering, you have to look at the highly volatile waters of the Strait of Hormuz. Right now, this critical choke point is practically paralyzed. Nearly 2,000 global commercial ships are idling at sea, facing astronomical insurance hikes as Iranian forces actively intercept and blockade Western vessels. Amidst this total maritime chaos, a massive anomaly has emerged. Iranian authorities have officially granted Indian commercial ships unimpeded VIP safe passage straight through the war zone. The Iranian ambassador formally stated that India earned this exclusive protection specifically because it maintained strict neutrality and refused to back the international sanctions. This chart illustrates exactly what this victory means for the country. A staggering 40